June 1st, 2020, Monday. 7:26 in the morning. It is the 6th day of the protesting. Protesting the death of George Floyd, but also protesting part 3, as I call it. Part 1 was the Watts riots back in the 60s, which I wasn't born until afterwards. 1992, when Rodney King happened. Now this. A worldwide epidemic at this point over here. It's one thing we're dealing with a pandemic of the COVID-19 tearing apart everybody's lives and tearing apart their livelihood left and right. Now we've got social injustice doing the rest of it. But we're not understanding why. We're not understanding the reasons why this is happening at this point over here. Do I understand? The more I keep listening to it, it's the same here. It's the same thing I've heard for decades. Social injustice. Racial inequality. Economic issues. The people have said they've been working on it for decades and it hasn't been gone yet. There's still poverty. There's still worse than poverty. Drug use has gone out of whack. So has alcoholism. And those who keep trying to find places affordable to live are living in the streets. The ones that are barely struggling and supporting as it is find themselves out of work because of the damn COVID-19. People could think it's a damn conspiracy. Maybe it is, I don't know. The numbers of people dying, and not to mention stories of people having issues with the damn bug, is one thing. But now you have a cop who puts a knee on a guy, damn near snaps his neck, but causes him to lose air. He's already got enough health consciousness problems as it is. And now, worldwide. And the thing of it is, every time there's been social injustice regarding this situation, outrage. And yes, I did notice, because it's impossible not to notice, because the perceptions are still out there. If a black does it to a white guy, there's no outrage. It's not enough. But if a white guy does it to a black guy, watch all hell break loose. And there's the perception. There comes the racial inequality. They would consider me being white and having white privilege. I know there's a lot of people who would try to bring up their life story to justify why they are living in the way they are. Puff up their chest to make sure that they get their point across to people. Yeah, I've got a story. Everybody's got a story. And I don't beat people over the head with it either. I couldn't help but being born white. I couldn't help but being born with medical issues when I was born. A month prematurely. I never thought I actually had brain damage, but they knew I had heart damage. At the age of 4 years old, my mother couldn't even afford to do heart surgery on me. And insurance, crippled children's, paid for half of it, and a friend of hers paid for the rest of it. He was Jewish. We're talking about a $200,000 job. 1970, that's a lot of chunk of change. It was about 100,000. No, it was 200,000. That's a chunk of change right there. huge chunk of change that nobody could afford. Not even in today's market. It's more like an outpatient procedure these days at price. The way medical costs are rising and rising. You pay the damage, but there was other damage done already. Saved my life, killed me 3 times, came back to life, and emotionally scarred afterwards. And then everything else, I get into accidents, and that costs money right there too. My mother struggled. She had 2 kids. One kid, with my older brother, had emotional issues because he didn't understand what the hell was going on around him. I took a special school under state funding to help get his head straight up, and so is my mother's, so they can deal with each other. I went to public school. I didn't go to private. We didn't afford that damn stuff. My mother was in between jobs left and right. She bounced from one job to another job to another job. She was smart, but she didn't have the education. But she was very smart and talented. She knew her numbers. We took care of my grandmother and that before they passed away. Their state assistance on that. And yes, I know what it's like to live in the lower end. I lived under GR for a long while. I'm not proud of it, but you know, it happened. We used it for survival. It's embarrassing as hell to bring out ticket books in a supermarket just to get your food, because then you get to deal with all the damn remarks from everybody else around you. So yeah, I know what it's like being white trash. I also know what it's like to work my ass off for a living. When I didn't take education seriously enough, and I wasted 2.5 years of college. Community college, but college nevertheless. My mother forced an issue down my throat. Work or live in the street. I worked. For 30 years, I've worked at different jobs left and right. I've had a little bit of retraining left and right, and I've earned every penny to keep going back to different schools to learn. I didn't have to have school funding. I went to part-time jobs. I saved up money from other full-time jobs so I can go to school. I went to occupational school, learned a few more things, and that helped me along down the road. Until the job opportunities died up. Moved from one valley to another valley because the rent too damn high and you can't afford anything. And you still have everything you had. Still dealing with a mother and a brother that have health issues. Go from place to place in one particular strange valley. Settle out in one place. They're all gone. I'm all that's left. I'm disabled. Last job I had, I damn near got killed by a falling tire. And the company says, oh well, here's your paycheck, get out of here. Pay for your workers' comp, but that's about it. Other than that, get the hell out of here. Sentiment. So yeah, I know what it's like to work my ass off for a living and get my ass kicked out. I know what it's like to be on the streets. I've been there before. I've been at the low points where people have been. I understand them. I understand when they talk about social inequality because I've seen it myself. I just haven't had an experience though. I understand where the protesters are coming from. But what I can't understand is why they're destroying their neighborhoods. Why go to other communities and destroy them? For what reason? Revenge? For what? I don't get you. I get where I gone. I understand where I came from. And I'm doing the best I can. I know what it's like to go to food giveaways all the time. I know what it's like to live on a damn GR card all the time. I know what it's like to go into a loan shark all the damn time. Yes, I know those feelings. I've been there. Done that. And I'm struggling with what I've got right now. I'm struggling with medical and mental health issues that should have kept me on the damn streets, but it hasn't. I know the struggle. I know the struggle of taking care of a family member, and you have to pull out all the stops, including the other stops you don't want to pull out to take care of them. I've done that. I've been there. And yes, I look like I may have eaten myself too damn much, but that's genetic. That's genetic. My family has the genes of being fat, and I can't change that damn thing. No matter how many times I would go on a diet, I'm still a blimp. I still have type 2. So yeah, that's another thing I have to accept. I don't have to like it, but you know, that's life. That's life for me. It's not easy living where I am. Living how I am. Doing what I do. It's not easy. It's not supposed to be easy. It's supposed to be life. And I get the struggle. I get the economic issues. I get the point where you can't even find a job. You've got 1,000 people and there's only one job. Been there. Done that. Walked those roads. I've worn out too many shoes. I know what it's like. I know what it's like to wake up in the morning and not realize if you're going to be able to eat in the morning or if you're going to have enough milk for the morning. God knows if you're going to have a roof over the head or the bills, you're going to have any power. Or have clean water. Let alone if you've got a dog or a pet, if you're going to have enough food to take care of them for a while. I know it's struggle. I know the struggle entirely. I've seen people my age and older struggling their asses off left and right. That's not easy. It's not fun. And I'm there. So I know the struggle. I know what it's like worrying whether or not if you're going to have enough money in your pocket to afford to get a gallon of milk, or you want to get another treat for yourself. You have to balance out what's the priority. You have to balance out and then make everything stretch. I've been there. I've done it. I'm no expert. I just survive. I haven't been to a haircutter's. Not because of the COVID either. If we didn't have the COVID, I know what it's like to struggle with or without a haircut. Conveniences. Or how about walking a mile and a half to a bus stop every day to get to other places? Sometimes I can depend on others for rides, and other times I have to depend on myself. I also know what it's like to struggle going through college while you're broke, while you're eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for lunch, while people are going to the cafeteria and getting fried food or Subway sandwiches. I know how that feels. You carry a bottle of water and you carry a peanut butter and jelly sandwich in your backpack. I've done that. And I'm still going. So I know what's going on. That you see right over here. Bills have either been paid or bills haven't been paid. Collection notices I know of. Thank God I haven't been put in any lawsuits just yet. And rent's due, and I haven't got the money for it just yet. Because I got to wait for Social Security to kick in so I can get the money for them. They prefer the money on the first, but I don't have the money on the first. I've only got the money that'll last me another week or two. But I have to wait for a few more days so Social Security can come in and I can actually pay rent within a time limit. I'm given 5 days grace period. I have to keep saving enough money for the rent each month, because if they say no grace period, you have to pay on the first or out. They try to make it easy and convenient for me electronically. That's nice to hear. I still like to have the money right now. I don't have it. I have to wait for Social Security, and then I can pay rent. Reality check. You don't think what's going on? Try also living under a situation where you're under family obligations to take care of your family's ashes. Right here. My brother, my mother, my dog's pets. I gotta take care of them. My mother wants to be buried in Hiawatha, Utah. My brother out in Texas and scattered at sea. I don't got the funds for that. I had an apartment last year that needed spraying for bed bugs. Okay, sprayed. The bed bugs still remained. Then it needed to be cooked. It's not easy dealing with an apartment with 160 degrees in it. And you have to vent the damn thing out. It takes about 3 or 4 hours after that. So you barely get in here and go with the air conditioning and just blow things out. And next month you're dealing with a sky-high bill because of the damn bed bomb. Because you didn't want the bed bugs and everything else alive in here. I know what that's feeling like. Must be nice having private transportation too. Must be nice to be able to barely afford a car with insurance, money for gas, money for oil, money for tires, for maintenance all the time. Must be nice. I don't have a car. I got 2 legs, that's my car. I can walk, if any. I know the struggle. Been there, going through it. I'm still alive. I don't grumble about my existence. I don't celebrate my existence. I acknowledge my existence. I go on. I live. That's how it is. That's how it must be. And that's how we have to deal with it. So don't start bitching and griping to me about your looting is necessary at this point over here, that you're burning towns left and right, that you're burning up existence left and right, that you're killing people off left and right one way or another because you're killing them off financially. That's what you're doing. You're tearing apart people's livelihood because you want their stuff. Oh, they're insured. Well, how the hell do you know? Oh, they're a big company name. Well, what about the mom and pops that you keep raiding left and right? Maybe they don't have the insurance to cover the damn thing. You don't know. Because of the COVID-19 pandemonium thing we've got going on, this bug spreading the world and driving us crazy, putting us through lockdowns left and right, short-circuiting businesses left and right, canceling businesses left and right, businesses going under left and right because of a damn pandemic, because of a damn bug. And now you guys got to ride in the loop because of one murder. Yes, there's social injustice. Everything has its own time and its own price. But now we got to go crazy at this point over here. And don't you folks ever forget something? For those who keep looting and pillaging and plundering, you guys are on social media, which means the cops will know you. Will pick up your faces one way or another. One day you're going to be busted. And then you've got no excuse. No excuse. But I'm supposed to feel sorry for you guys? I'm supposed to feel sorry for you guys having social injustice right now because of white privilege. I live in a ghetto, and I've got people around me that I care about. People of different ethnicities. They care about me and I care about them. We may be the most difficult people around, but the one thing I'll call us is we're a family. And that's the one thing above all of you schmucks. So I live in a family. You don't.